Chen Huixia, Deputy Mayor of Yichang City. Mr. Liu Hengyou, Deputy Mayor of Xiangyang City. Mr. Zhu Shoujiang, Deputy Director of Xiangyang Municipal People's Congress. Mr. Li Bohong, Deputy Director of Yichang Organization Department. Mr. Li Yang, the Deputy Director of Hubei CDC. First of all, we give the floor to Mr. Li Yang to brief you on the latest numbers. As of May the 25th, the total number of confirmed cases in Hubei province amounts to 678,801. 50,006 are in Wuhan, accounting for 17.4%. And the other city all adds up to 11795. In the last 24 hours, 0 cases were reported in the province, and 0 import cases were reported. It's the second day in a row that report 0 new cases. In cities outside Wuhan report 0 cases for the 21st consecutive day. As of yesterday, the number of patients still in hospital for treatment, 3,431, among which 914 are severe cases and 287 are critical cases. As of yesterday, the total number of deaths, 3,169. In the last 24 hours, 6 new deaths were reported, 5 in Wuhan and 1 in Jinzhou. As of yesterday, the total number of discharged patients amounts to 61201. Number of newly discharged patients amount to 391, among which 382 in Wuhan, accounting for 98% of the provincial total. Now we'll give the floor to Mr. Chen Huixia to brief you on the situation of stabilization of employment and resumption of work and life. Good afternoon. The city of Yichang and the city government have been acted according to General Secretary Xi Jinping's important remarks during his visit to Wuhan and Hubei, and act according to the requirement of the municipal government as well as CPC's committee. And we are now speeding up the resumption of work and prioritize stabilization of employment. We have formed a special group that is in charge of services to the businesses, as well as a group that is in charge of labor output, labor export. And we have been taking measures to help the enterprises to overcome the difficulties of this time and help the workers to come back to their posts. Here are the work that we have done. First, to exercise targeted policies to encourage the resumption of work under the condition of safety and continue our good efforts in terms of prevention control. We have exercised, categorized, and gradual measures to push forward the production resumption and the restoration of market and trading, as well as help the workers to go back to their positions. Currently, the buses, taxis, and shuttle buses in our cities have already come back to normal. 99% of the businesses have restarted their production, and 84% of the workers have already came back to their posts. Catering industry, accommodation industry, and hotel industry, 90% of these businesses have resumed their work, and the service industry, 89% of the staff members have already returned to their posts. So we have basically restored the normal orders of work and life. Second, to help the migrant workers to go back to their posts in other cities. We are working with the Department of Human Resources and other labor associations and work unions to help the workers to connect and get in contact with their employers. And we also have assigned chartered trains and airplanes and buses to help the migrant workers to return to their work post. Currently, about 920,000 workers have already turned to their post outside the province. 3, to encourage employment, we have established online platform as well as hotlines to help the enterprises to conduct interviews online and online investigation as well as training and employment. For the enterprises with an urgent need, we also assign special personnel to help them to recruit labor forces. And the resolve rate has been reached 85%, and 380,000 work positions have been provided. We have received 350 resumes, and more than 3,000 people have already been newly employed. Fourth, we will also be helping the enterprises to overcome the difficulties of our time, and we are about to implement a portfolio of policies to help the enterprises to stay and survive and thrive. The city government will issue the 11 regulations and policies in support of employment. Since the outbreak, we have been returning capitals to more than 9,000 enterprises to help them to stabilize employment. For 42 enterprises who contribute to the prevention, to the containment of the COVID-19, we are also issuing them with subsidies to help them to stabilize employment. In about 2 months, the 170 enterprises are free of charge in terms of social insurance. Now, Mr. Liu will be introducing the situation in the city of Shangyang. Good afternoon. The Shangyang City Government and Party Committee acts according to the remarks made by General Secretary Xi Jinping and help promote the restoration of work and life as well as the containment of COVID-19. And we have been implemented targeted and differentiated measures to help the enterprises and business to resume their work. Before March the 9th, we will help the enterprises to enlarge their capacities and have been given them provincial policies in terms of taxes. After March the 14th, we're helping the enterprises that has a position in a global value chain to restore their work and also help the traders to do business online. Currently, we're at a low-risk level. Therefore, we continue to promote the market actors to resume their business and make sure that all of the enterprises can resume their work as soon as possible. As of yesterday, more than 1,600 enterprises have already resumed production, and we're hoping that by the end of March, all of the industrial enterprises can resume their work and began to work in full capacity in April. As of yesterday, the commercial enterprises have already reported an 80% of a resumption rate, and more than 400 service enterprises have restored their work, and 80% of the workers have returned to their workplaces. We're also encouraging construction industry and property industry to resume their work. And right now, 74% of the enterprises and 49% of the workers have resumed their work. And for the property market, 89% of the enterprises have already restored their work. Right now, more than 80% of the property developers have restored their work, and more than 74% of the workers and employees have returned to their workplaces. First, we also have emphasized that the employment insurances and the capital to help with the stabilization of the employment have been issued to the enterprises. Second, we are giving out employment subsidies to 34 enterprises who continue to produce and work during the containment period of the COVID-19. We also have given more than 830,000 yuan of one-off subsidies to the employees. During the epidemic, we also have given out online trainings for the enterprises, and the number of trainees exceeds 5,000. We're also helping the people to issue unemployment insurance to the people who have lost their jobs during the epidemic, and provide them with more than 350,000 yuan of subsidies. 3, for the enterprises and SMEs as well as individuals who have lost their source of income, we will give them provincial policies in terms of getting loans. And we are supporting efforts in these aspects. Now the floor is open to questions. Please identify yourself before the questions. With China Daily. Question goes to Mr. Chen. The epidemic has taken a toll on the employment of many enterprises and production. So it's important to support the enterprises in order to stabilize employment. So what are the specific measures and the policies in this regard? Thank you. At a special time, we have also taken special measures to help the market actors to address the most acute problems that they're facing. And we have taken policies in the following aspects. And we are taking concrete measures to help them to restore production and stabilize employment. First is the reduction of the tariff of water, electricity, and gas in order to reduce their cost of production. For example, we have temporarily reduced the fee of water by 10% and electricity tariff by 5%. Second, we also help the private business to reduce their electricity bill, and we have reduced this part by about 50 million yuan in total. So the MSE in our cities not only can enjoy provincial policies, but they're also free of value-added tax worth of 160 million yuan. And the total number of exempted social insurance amounts to 130,000. We're also helping them with other provincial policies such as tax returns and subsidies in terms of employment. And we have also reduced the time to go through all of these processes. We're helping 9 exporters to get the tax return worth of 16 million yuan. And the number of VAT exemption also amount to more than 10 million. We have also been using 560 million yuan in terms of encourage the enterprises to give subsidies of employment. Since the end of February, we have issued to 108 enterprises a total number of more than 100 million yuan that is given to more than 9,000 employees. We are also contributing and make special employment to the key projects and enterprises. Fourth, we will be helping the key enterprises to get loans with a preferential interest rate worth of 3.2 billion yuan. We have also issued business bonds, and we have been also working online and offline and use the online platform of Yichang City financial platform. We have organized 21 financial institutions and 2 insurance companies to organize this emergency center for financial sectors and provide issuing of loans to the enterprises. And altogether, more than 600 enterprises have been issued with loans. And 5, at a special time, confidence is more precious than gold. That's why we are working with the enterprises, because we are all on the same boat together. So we have to help them to address problems in employment, logistics, financial, as well as supply of production factors in order to boost their confidence of production. With China News Agency, what are the policies issued by the city of Xiangyang to help these enterprises to resume their production? How to encourage and boost and stimulate employment in the city of Xiangyang? In these regards, we are sticking to the problem-based mindset. First is to strengthen policy guarantee, reducing social insurance paid by the enterprises, It is estimated that a total of more than 400 million worth of insurances of all kinds of the enterprises will be exempted. We are also studying policies to help the SMEs to overcome difficulties and speed up development. We have been helping the SMEs to address their financial problems in terms of interest rate preferential policies and other supporting measures to help them to restore their business and production. We're also helping the enterprises in online services, green channels for ratification, and one-on-one commission services for key enterprises and projects, and reduce the red tapes in this regard. You can refer to our official government website for more details. Second, strengthen logistic guarantee. We are restoring the transportation services in our city, and all the drivers can have free access to the transportation facilities with our green code. We are working with Dongfeng Company and the other 5 logistic companies and to help with the transferring of materials. For the vehicles, we also issue them with cross-region licenses so as to give them more access. We're also working with the railway department to promote the connection between demand and supply. 3, we're helping the enterprise with their financial problems. We are issuing financial services, including the reduction of transaction fee and interest rate in order to reduce the cost of the enterprises. We're also assigning 1 financial professionals to each enterprises to help them with the financial problems. 42 enterprises have been getting loans with preferential interest rate. More than 70 enterprises have been getting a loan of more than 4.1 billion RMB. We're also helping with the industrial chains, and we will prioritize Jiangshan and Dongfeng and more than 13 enterprises, key enterprises, and car manufacturers and providers and logistic service providers to restore their work so as to form a working industrial chain in our city. We're also helping the key enterprises to integrate themselves and restore the production. According to the requirement of the provincial commanding center of containment of COVID-19, 19 supporting enterprises in Xiangyang have also resumed their work. With Legal Daily, can you tell me more about the online services provided by the government? In order to ensure the supply of human resources during the containment of COVID-19, we're using the 2 platforms online to stabilize employment and provide better services to the job seekers and enterprises. we have established online platforms, 2 online platforms to introduce the employment services and issue a notice to kickstart the so-called Spring Wind movement to guide the enterprises and job seekers to use the website services in a proper way. We also have assigned special personnel to carry out online verification. Currently, more than 2,000 pieces of job notices have been issued and more than 9,000 job applications have been submitted. Second, to carry out online job market, we have organized this online job market for college graduates and for enterprises with specific needs. And coming up, we'll open up special job markets for college graduates and for employees with difficulties and so on. Currently, we have already held more 18 job markets, and more than 18,000 employees have found their ideal job on the market. We'll also be helping the rural enterprises and to issue information online. Second, we are working with the new media platform of Xiangyang Broadcast Station to establish this online services and working with Xiangyang Media Group to issue products, employment products such as WeChat platform and special program for employment. We also have a live stream program that issues the information of more than 183 enterprises, and more than 1,800 people have signed up for this job. And during the second job fair, more than 25,000 job applications have been submitted. We also help the enterprises to conduct job interviews online. And this is a point-to-point interview between the job seekers and the employers. These activities will continue till the end of April. We'll also be helping with veterans and college graduates and other vulnerable groups to seek jobs, so that this platform can provide better services to all the job seekers and businesses. Mr. Li, now a lot of employees have worries of unemployment and being sacked by the enterprises due to the difficulties of our time. So what are the work that is done to protect the interest of these people? Thank you. The Human Resource Department of the City of Yichang have done work in the following 3 aspects. First, we have established a emergency response mechanism. In February, we have issued 305 telephone numbers that provides consultation for human resources policies. And this is 24-hour hotline. We have also formed 2 special work groups. One is providing services to the employers, and second is a group for supervision. in order to provide better support for the enterprises in terms of talent using and maximize the effect of the policies. And we are aiming to reducing the impact of the COVID-19 on the employment market to the minimum. Second, we also have established a coordination platform that help with the relationship between enterprises, the government, and the workers. So we have invited 3 times the key enterprises as well as the other employers to hold online meetings and take questions, listen to the feedbacks of the enterprises, and help them with implementation so as to make sure that during the epidemic, they can still stabilize employment and address the labor relations well. Altogether, more than 1,200 enterprises have been given service to and have received very well feedbacks. 3 is to establish the hotlines and channels to file complaints. We have opened up green channels to address labor disputes, to resolve issues concerning wages and other problems, so as to realize expedited process in order to promote the harmonious and stabilized labor relations. More than 11,000 community workers are integrated to this network so that labor dispute can be reported and handled in a timely manner. More than 200 and the cases that concerns 19 enterprises and more than 200 employees have been addressed. So, can you tell us more about the resumption of work and life in the city of Xiangyang? Currently, more than 600,000 people are working outside the city. As of yesterday, we're helping them in a point-to-point way, and more than 520 people have already been transported to their workplaces. They have already arrived at their destination. Here are some of the measures. First is to get to know their destination, and they can file their information through many programs in WeChat to register, and we will be arranging special and chartered shuttles and planes and trains to help them to get to their destinations. And currently, more than 60,000 people have been registered through the mini programs, and another 220,000 people have been registered through another mini program. We are also working with the Human Resource Department in multiple cities such as Jinhua, Hangzhou, Guangdong, Dongguan. On May the 21st, 313 staff members of Dongfeng Company took the high-speed railway to go to Guangdong. This is the first train since the lockdown of the city. And we have also opened up a special chartered train to help the migrant workers return to Zhejiang. We have been also organizing this point-to-point transportation of human resource of labor forces. we need to guarantee their safety and hygiene during the transportation. So on a daily basis, chartered shuttle bus or sent out to help the migrant workers return to their positions. With Bloomberg, currently, we are facing a disconnection between the employees and the employers. So how do you address this problem? The Human Resource Department in our city have been aiming at building a bridge between the job seekers and the employers. We're using online platforms to help the enterprises to hold 107 job fairs and help with the connection between the enterprises and the job seekers. Currently, 36,000 job applications have been processed, but there is a misconnection and structural unemployment. To address these problems, we have taken the following measures. First, to strengthen information gathering, we have done survey on more than 3,000 enterprises citywide, and more than 65 pieces of employment situation have been gathered. We have also carried out targeted services to the enterprises with special needs. More than 1,100 enterprises have given with us tens of thousands of job informations. And we are giving them special assistance to help them to connect with the job seekers. Second, to strengthen the skill sets of the job seekers. We have conducted 114 online trainings to provide free training to the job seekers and employees. For those who are qualified, we also issue them with subsidies. Currently, we have opened up 254 terms of trainings online that provides more than services and training services to more than 6,000 job seekers. And these trainings consist of 33 categories. The Human Resource Department have been working with the enterprises to provide services to more than 410 enterprises and help them to work out to more than 800 online classes. Since February, the Human Resource Department have been providing services to more than 1,200 enterprises. 3, we will strengthen the introduction of human resources. And in 3 years, we're expecting to attract more than 100,000 university graduates to start a business or seek jobs in the city of Yichang. And this year, we'll continue this effort. And update and release the information for high-caliber talents. We are also issuing special campaign to help the university graduates to seek jobs online. We are also helping the enterprises to recruit the talents they need through multiple channels. We welcome talents from all over the country to come to Yichang to work and live. We encourage the employees to seek jobs nearer to their home and here in Yichang. We're hoping that students from Yichang can come back home after graduation. With Hubei TV, what are the policies to stabilize employment and help with the talent development in the city of Yichang, as well as an exemption of social insurance? We have been making specific measures to ensure the implementation of the social insurance fees exemption. First, we've been making supportive measures. Since February the 26th, we are working with relevant departments to interpret the policies and discuss the possible risks. On May the 2nd, we have issued the operational guidance, and we have established an online platform for the enterprises to register. We have issued notice for the enterprises to check upon. For the enterprises who are, especially the catering industry, who are affected by the epidemic, and they have to meet certain standards in order to enjoy these provincial policies. They have to be suffering from losses in the past 6 months, and they have difficulties giving wages to the employees. We will be giving them a grace period in terms of the social insurance. We are also exempting a total number of more than 120,000 yuan worth of insurances of all kinds for the enterprises. And altogether, 450 million yuan of RMB have been exempted, among which 15 million are unemployment insurance. During February, for the social insurance, we have been exempted all the enterprises for their social insurance submission. If a company have already submitted the fees, it will be used as a reimbursement of the future submission. We've been seeing positive signals in terms of the containment of COVID-19, and work and life have been resuming their previous orders, but we are meeting difficulties when we are helping the migrant workers return to their workplaces. So what are the measures that are taken in this respect? Thank you for the question. First, we use policy to strengthen the confidence. We have taken multiple provincial policies and identified the person of accountability in order to stabilize the enterprises' employment, and have made public the necessary information. We have issued 10 supporting policies to the commercial enterprises and 11 measures to stabilize the job market in order to support the development and strengthen, boost their confidence. Second, to conduct point-to-point services to the migrant workers. We use the health code and encourage the enterprises and the workers to use their health code as their access to facilities, to transportation facilities and other service facilities in and outside the city. For the migrant workers who are working outside the province, under the condition of exercising relevant control measures, we are helping to transport them to their destinations through chartered trains and shuttles as well as airplanes. Currently, more than 290,000 people have access to the health code. We're also working with the Fujian province to sign labor agreement and to help them to connect, to make the connections between the labor forces and the employers. We have established service platform to help the enterprises to get the human resources and help the workers return to workplaces. We are providing services and conduct survey on 1,100 enterprises and have gathered 223,000 pieces of information. We are also opening up online job fairs. We have established a special emergency team of 32 people to help the enterprises with their recruitment so as to better meet the need.